Welcome back to the Crypto Knowledge Alliance, guys. In today's video we're going to be announcing a early subscriber giveaway and be having a look at the Bitcoin price action. We're going to see what stands out in the news. I'm Jimbo, let's do Crypto Live. So let's start, for some of you guys, I'm sure you clicked on this video for the giveaway. I'll just give you the details of that now. We're a new channel here, we're looking to spread our content to more people. I'm a true believer that education and reliable information is what's going to help people succeed in this market. I want to spread this content to as many people as possible. If you want to be, if you believe in that sort of mantra, and you want to see a place, a channel like this grow, give us a subscribe, give us a like. That'd be pretty cool. If by the next video you subscribe and you like this video, I'm going to be giving away $10 of Ethereum. No, sorry, I'm going to give away 0.1 Ethereum. So that's, I don't know, about $12 or $13. So low reward at the moment, don't get me wrong. This isn't going to make you a millionaire overnight, but it might make you a little bit of free Ethereum. And the truth be told, as the channel grows, perhaps we'll look at extending that giveaway to a larger prize. So, getting involved now might not be a bad idea. Plus, with a low number of subscribers currently as a new channel, your chances of winning are probably greater than once we grow. So yeah, okay, alright, it'd be great if you get involved in that, guys. Anyway, into today's video, let's have a look at Bitcoin one-day chart here. We're moving within the same pattern that we have been for several days now. Sorry, all the way back from December, this full big pattern we're seeing form. Still unconfirmed, as we know. On a closer scale, Bitcoin is still trading within this range that we have mapped out. Did extend this line up to the top of this wick. As you can see, this is obviously a key resistance here on this wick, so we'll put it out there now and see how it plays out. Things to watch: we've got a potential bullish cross on the stock RSI, and the RSI does also seem to be ticking upwards. Let's see what happens. We want to push past this resistance here, and we want to break through and make a positive cross, and if we do that, we'll be well on our way to testing the upper resistance of this larger pattern, and we'll see what happens from there. Obviously, as said in the previous videos, I just want to make clear this this pattern that's developing here, not confirmed what it is yet. It could be a continuation horizontal triangle, which would see us have a break to the downside. It could be a more bullish symmetrical triangle, which will see us have a break to the upside potentially. However, we don't guess on this channel. We wait for breakouts, and we that's what we're looking for. We're looking for situations that we know are reliable and profitable. That's best. Don't guess. Trade breakouts. I mean, like, you look at these. You trade the downwards wedge. Trade the downwards wedge. Or trade the short off the resistance. These are the moments you're looking for. These are the reliable moments where you have a good indication of where the price is going to go, not just when you're just hovering around in no man's land. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we test this line. Looks like we might. Looks like in the next day or so we're going to test this line. If we break it, then we'll have to see what sort of volume it's backed by. If it's low volume, we expect to see it wick and come back down. If we get a big volume push, then who knows, we could break and confirm a symmetrical triangle. So let's keep an eye on that. I'll update the next video. We may have seen some action by then. Right, so into a couple of little updates I wanted to do. These are for a couple of the premium Knowledge Alliance members on Telegram. They just asked me to do the quick updates on some of the trades that we've had active, or that we thought might be a good trade. So Theta currently down 6%, but for those members, you guys know it was called back here. I believe it was the 9th. Sorry, it was called. Yeah, 9th. I think it was about 12:40. It was called. At 2042, so we saw. Let's remove this one quickly and just use one of them. So we saw a movement from that line up, and we could have taken about 35% there, so that's not a bad trade. Hopefully you guys managed to get profit off the top before we saw this pull back. That was 2 days ago, so I'm sure that you guys have. In fact, I know the people who got involved have, because they've spoken to me about it. So excellent. We like that sort of thing happening. The other one that we wanted to quickly have an overview on was Enigma. Just for those members as well, I just want to say, if you If you're still in it now, you know what? I'll put some content onto the Telegram channel. We'll discuss this between us, and we'll see if we can find good exit and potentially re-entry points. See how Theta's going to do in the long term. Maybe there's another position to get involved. You know, although if you have a look at the 3-day, you're seeing a clear top, so you should be using this as a clear indicator of what's going on in the market. You see a big clear indicator on the big clear top on the 3-day, then there's a good chance that you know where the market's going over the next 3 days. Anyway, let's go across to the second one, which was Enigma, and that's 0.08% up on the day. But as you can see, the green line was the call, and again, I think this was called on the 9th or the 11th. I think it was actually here. No, not 3rd, it's the 3rd. I think it must have been here. It was called here on the 9th again, that's right, yeah. So it was called on the 9th, the same day as we called Theta. Don't think it did quite as well as Theta token, but still could have seen a nice 17% gain off that. You know, nice again. Again, members, if you are still in a trade like this, or if you looked at this and did your own research and you decided this was for you, and you're still in there, we will have a discussion later on today or tomorrow about where we see this going. And again, exit, entry points. What are we looking for here on this? We'll discuss that over on the Telegram channel. Okay, so next up, guys, I just wanted to have a quick look at this chart that I snipped yesterday for Crypto.com Bitcoin on Bittrex. And although this wasn't a cool trade or anything like that, I want to share a little bit of information I think might be useful for some of you guys. It's a slightly different indicator which you might not have seen before. It may or may not work for you. I find it a useful tool. I tend to use my indicators in conjunction with each other rather than individually. I'm looking for good signals across all of my indicators rather than one particular indicator. You know, there are some that are more stronger than others, some that I pay more attention to, but I wanted to share this with you guys anyway because I thought you may not have seen it before. So what we're looking at here on the right hand side is the volume profile. Now the volume profile, it's an advanced charting study that displays trading activity over a specified time period at specified price levels. Okay, so let's try and get that into a bit simpler terms, right? So what we've got here, each of these lines that you can see is a node. Now I've got quite a lot of nodes active on my chart. Sometimes these come much more blocky because you have less. I've got a lot of nodes because I like to see it in this format, right? But each of these nodes, they represent the trading activity at a specified price, right? And it's divided into buys and sells. You can see by the two colours we've got buys and sells, right? Now what we're looking at here, right? So what you can see is within this period, within this price range, is the concentration of the volume activity on Crypto.com. This coin we're looking at, right? You can see that this is where all the volume has been taking place over this time period. It takes us back to the 17th or maybe the 15th or something of December. But here it's within this area here that all the volume is, right? Now, what else can we see here? What we can see is a thing that we call the value area. Now, the value area is see how you have these parts that are slightly shaded. Then you also have this part which I've squared with these white lines that is actually also blocked in. Now, this blocked in area, this is what we call the value area. Now, this is where 75% of the volume has taken place across this time frame, the trading volume. So within this price range is 75% of the volume of this price range. We tend to say that the price will stay within this range. It tends to stay on the high volume nodes for longer periods of time, right? And as you can see, within this range that we've set, almost all of the majority of our trading volume has been within this range over this period of time. Obviously, we'll get to this bit in a moment. Alright, we'll get there. Bear with me. Now, it's also said that the higher volume nodes are better resistance and support. So, a lot of traders use, we use EMAs, we use MAs, the RSIs, the stock RSIs. but sometimes we stop paying attention to something that's really important, which is horizontals. Now this is a really good way of finding horizontal support and resistance, as you can see by this chart. No, it's not always going to look this perfect as it did on this one, but this is why I've given you the example of this one, because I think it's a really good visual representation of how you can use this VPVR to help you. So you can see where we've got our clear support and resistances. We also have one other line on here, this red line, and this is the point of concentration. Okay, now the point of concentration is the line with the highest volume. So this point is the highest level of volume across the time period it gets set. Okay, now look how much time we've spent here. Now, it makes sense, right? When you think about it, it makes sense. If there's most volume at this line, it's going to have been there for the longest period, because the volume's going to have taken place there. So, you know, you get yourself sort of a bit like a center line, or if you want to call it that, but it's a good horizontal line to have in place. You know, if you sway far off it, you know it's likely to come back. See, every time we've crossed it, we've found our way to come back to it across this time period. So interesting. That's an interesting thing to watch. Okay. But as I was saying, it's said that the higher volume nodes are harder to break through either way. So they act as a better support and a better resistance. Now, what this means in the inverse is that the low volume nodes are a weak support and resistance. And what that means is we can expect price to move through low volume nodes significantly faster than we expect the price to move through high volume nodes. Now this is the reason I've shown you this particular chart. This is a big pump up yesterday that happened on crypto.com. You can see, like, we've retraced here at this point. We were back at 76,000 satoshis, okay, but we pumped all the way up to 100,000 satoshis, starting at down here on a 4-hour chart. This is, you know, we're talking about a couple of days candles here, maybe a day's candles, whatever. This is a big increase. But what I'm trying to draw your attention to is this huge long wick that we've got here. I believe that this wick was formed because we broke into the low volume node area, which meant that there wasn't any significant resistance for price, and it allowed the price to very quickly boost up as those market orders got filled. When people aren't buying and selling at these values, you can just see them. Once someone comes in and makes a big purchase, it just shoots the price up. We've seen it. We've all seen it. The price just shoots up. And I've actually got a similarly related news article to come shortly, but we'll get to that. But you can see this shoot up in price and then flying back down again to the high volume nodes. Now I'm going to do some more in-depth analysis on the VPVR in the future, but this is just a start, give you an idea, give you some things to start playing with and looking at. The VPVR is available on TradingView, and if you've got any issues in finding it, or you want to ask any questions about using it or anything like that, join us in Telegram. You know, we've got people in there who can help. You can come to myself or some of the other members who've got experience, and I'm sure they'll be happy to help share their knowledge with you. That's what we're all about. We're about the sharing of knowledge, because that is what's going to make us successful in this market. So on to the news now. And as normal, in the news section, we'll have a quick look at cryptocurrency coinmarketcap.com and see what's going on in the market. We've got $121 billion market cap, which hasn't changed since I started this channel, I don't think. We're 5 days in and we've been on 121 billion for 5 days. That shows you just how horizontal Bitcoin is right now. Just under $20 billion worth of volume, which is slightly down, in fairness, over a couple of days. A couple of $1 billion down from a few days ago, but you know, no significant decline. Bitcoin dominance at 52.7. What have we got here? Say 0.26. So we know that it's going to be a mixed bag of gainers and losers across the top 100 and the rest of the market when we see that. ONG Gas, this is probably the big story of the day, isn't it? Pre-Binance listing, you know, they've announced that ONG Gas is going to be listed, and boom, we've got a 210% increase. So if you were in on that, great work. And this is a reminder that technical analysis alone is not enough to succeed in this market. Not alone. If you've got a fundamental analysis in your belt as well, and you can combine those skills together, you are really going to be in a good position to benefit. You know, if you knew that if you were you had a good idea that ONG was going to be getting listed on Binance, and you knew this was coming, then you were just sat waiting, knowing that there was profit coming your way. And I imagine you have probably sold out at least at least a good percentage of your stack and taken profit. ALF up $25 million worth of volume, 16%. Nothing. Capacity, interesting project capacity, low volume but interesting capacity. It's one of those sort of moonshot kind of tokens. I'm not sure I fully believe in it, but you know, moonshots and moonshots, right? Hollow token, another really great project. In my personal opinion, of course, guys, I think HOP could do very well in the future if they get their platform launched the way they intend to. Seeing a bit of price traction these days, which is good. Any major losses? We've got Solve with almost $10 million worth of volume, 54% loss. That's not good, is it? That's a bad. Well, yeah. I think we all know what that means, right? It's bad times. We've got Rentberry losing, Dignity. Looks like the most significant by far is Solve. Yeah, so that's the biggest loser across this period. So yeah, okay. So nothing, you know, our normal market day really. We've got some movers, some losers. Biggest standout performer, of course, is ONG. Congratulations if you hold some. Okay, on to some news. Got this one here, which I really like. Is I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's been a bit of an ongoing scandal regarding an exchange called Quadriga CX. Where their owner, or one of the top guys, he was the only person that held the private keys to, I think it was over $100 million worth of crypto assets, and well, a lot of very unusual activity around his death. It seems all a bit unusual from what they're saying. It seems a bit dodgy, but you know, I'm not going to comment and speculate on whether or not a man's, you know, well, you know, at the end of the day, if he's got a death certificate, he's got a death certificate. So we'll just have to wait and see how that unfolds. But the point is, they're turning around and saying now that they think that he may have saved the private keys in a safety deposit box, which I think, if you're a Quadriga CX user, I think you're going to be really crossing your fingers that this is true right now. But what this is a reminder that leaving all your money on exchanges, leaving all your assets on exchanges is a bad idea, because, you know, alright, we like to think that they're all good guys, and there are some good exchanges out there, but that doesn't mean that one day something like this may not happen. I mean, I know this is an unusual case, but all it takes is for a big hack or anything like that. All I'm saying is, and as I always try and remind users and people in the group, it is simply that, you know, own your own assets, have some trading currency if that's what you're into, but you know, get yourself a ledger Nano, or a Trezor or something like that. Get your crypto offline and into cold storage, because at the end of the day, at least then you can look over, you know where you keep that ledger, and you can, it's visual as well. It becomes a lot more real once you've got it there in cold storage, you know. Anyway, but point is, protect your assets, get them into cold storage, and you know, be safe with your own private keys as well, because I've even heard stories of people having their computers hacked, and they've saved their private keys on their desktop, and they've had their computers hacked, and their private keys have been hacked. Not good. You know, not good. Don't store them on your computer. You know, write them down, keep them safe somewhere. I don't know. Do whatever you have to do. Do what this guy did. Put it in a safety deposit box if you've got one. You know, that's a good place to keep private keys. Whatever. The point is, get your assets off the exchanges as much as you can afford to do so, without harming any trading currencies, if that's what you're into. Okay, a little bit of a moonshot call here, but we do love one every now and then. We've got a crypto miner from China, saying that Bitcoin can reach $740,000. Now, do we think that is likely? Well, who knows? The truth is, I try and say, we don't know how to predict the future. I'm sure, in my personal opinion, Bitcoin will certainly surpass its all-time high, if not set a outstanding new all-time high in the future. I'm not for a second saying that I think it's going to be 740,000, because at the end of the day, I would just be guessing. But these guys have come out and they've said, you know, based on whatever their analysis is, they think it's going to be at 740,000. So yeah, it's interesting to have a look, you know. Come and have a read of this if you fancy. Here we go. He reportedly predicted in the next bull run prices will be 10 to 20 times higher than the previous ones, and I mean, let's hope for all of us who are already involved in this market that it does, because we want to see Bitcoin pushing to 400,000. You know, that would be excellent news. And more to the point, if that does happen, and when that does happen, we will be more educated, we'll be more experienced, we'll be in a better position to take advantage of the market. Finally, of the news, we've got the crypto nightmare. A man in Brazil's just bought Bitcoin at its peak at $20,000. I mean, if you're thinking, how can that possibly be the case? Well, he purchased 0.0047 Bitcoin for 340 Brazilian reals, worth about $91. At the time, said amount of Bitcoin is worth less than $15 on exchanges, meaning that the rate he paid for a Bitcoin would have given him the full cost equivalent of 19,400. So he hasn't bought full Bitcoin at 19,400. He's bought a small fraction of Bitcoin, but the price he's ended up paying is reflected at the all-time high. And yeah, I'm sure this guy's pretty cheesed off right now. He should have had quite a bit more Bitcoin than he ended up with. Let's have a look. 36 times more Bitcoin he should have got for his money. So, you know, something around there. He got 0.47. He should have been getting around 0.03. So yeah, pretty cheesed off, I imagine. He can come and have a look at this. I'll put some of the links in the description as well, so you can come and have a look at this if you want to. Okay, well anyway guys, if you made it this far into the video, I really appreciate you taking in the content. If you are still here, come and join us on Telegram. If you're interested in this stuff and you've made it this far, you should come and join the Telegram, definitely, because yeah, it's going on in there. We've got a lot of conversation on there. This video ends, but the content and the conversations do not end on Telegram. Yeah, okay, so obviously I'll be updating the giveaway next video. Until then guys, see you later, bye.